Okay, recording's in progress, guys. Hi, I am Jill Jones. I go by Jill Cillionaire, and I am your host, right? You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you're here with me on the Digital Currency 101 course, session 2, where we are going to be talking about today coins, tokens, and NFTs. So we could get that right out of the way, clear up some ideas, some thoughts, whatever you thought tokens and coins were. So we're going to clear that up today, right? So let's get into it, right? So no other way but to get into it, right? Got to do it, right? It's a song like that. Ain't no way to do it but to get into it, something like that. I don't know. All right, so I'm going to share my screen and we're just going to get into it. But I just wanted to welcome you all and thank you guys for coming. You know what I'm saying? And as I said in a pre-recording, this is a course that is valued for like about $2,500, but I'm doing this for free because I want people to get in and learn to win. And in this particular atmosphere, I want people to learn because we are the 1%. And when the 99% catch up, you're already going to be ahead of the game and you will be in the know, you know? So, I mean, as I said before, there were moments in history that we could have probably not been part of, but this one we can. So let's get into the presentation. I'm going to share my screen, guys, and we're going to get right into it. All right. So let me put it in presentation mode. I think I'm like too anxious and I click, right? And then my screen takes a little while to get on, but welcome to Digital Currency, right? Digital Currency 101. On this platform, we are talking about the cryptocurrency space, right? Okay, so again, welcome. I am Jill Cillionaire. This is Jill Cillionaire Café. Thank you for signing up. And I got to make some people happy, right? So this is not financial advice. This is for information and educational purposes only. This content may contain my personal views and alleged information. Because, you know, sometimes I get off on the, you know, some things that I personally feel and or things I've heard that I may have not looked up, and it's alleged, right? So we're going to clear that out. And I actually signed this just to show you guys that I'm going to live by this statement. Also, guys, this is a no selling platform, right? So this platform means that we are not cross recruiting. We're not putting things in the chat to recruit people. I do have some information in the chat where it tells you how you can get into contact with me. There are other meetings that I think could be very, very valuable if you are continuing to learn in the space. Gail Satoshi has an amazing platform. She having a platform where she also teach some things, and it would be great to go to other platforms to find out, you know, a little bit more information. She does a history of crypto as well. Big Daddy does tech support. So if you are looking for tech support and you want to find out about, you know, like little things, or you're stuck somewhere, you can get in touch with me as well. But Big Daddy and them have a huge platform that is amazing on doing that. Ellis is another a trainer. He trains too. I put all the information in the platform, in the chat, but Ellis does trainings. He clarified things. He also does tech support. So if you are looking for that, you guys their information is in the chat. However, a lot of the people that are in those different platforms are talking about platforms that they get into in the crypto space and investment. I say that we all support, right? We all support, you know, how do you call it? Lineage. I'm sorry, lineage, right? So we support lineage. So I say to you, if you are going to sign up for something, make sure you get back to the person who invited you to this platform. Or if you are new, you can always get in contact with me. So make sure that anyone who invites you to a platform, you make sure you go back to them and start asking them questions before you start to reach out to other people, right? All right, so cool. All right, so now that we got that out the way, last week, if you see my yellow right here, says completed, that's what we went over. Today, we are going over this content right here that says coin versus token and NFTs. That is what we are going to be getting into today. All right, so here we go, guys. Ready? Take a deep breath. Be relaxed. You are going to get this, right? Je crois en toi, mean I believe in you in French. Je crois en toi, right? So cryptocurrency is a different form of like money, right? So when you have the regular banking system and the regular system of money, depending on the country you're from, they call it fiat, they call it money, right? So what happens is, right, you are able to purchase goods and services with that money, right? So that's a form of money. Well, in the cryptocurrency space, right? Cryptocurrency, coins and tokens are considered money. That's a form of money there where you are paying for goods and services. So as you see in my screen, two types of cryptocurrency. There are coins and there are tokens. And then to break it down a little bit further, which will go all into this, there are two types of tokens. There are stable coins, which is a token, although it says coins in the word, it is a token. And then we have regular tokens. And you'll see what that is and what, you know, how that flows out in the next couple of slides, right? So I just wanted to remind you that if you are in the cryptocurrency space, you are your own banker. So much of what we are going to talk about and what I'm going to show you is what happens behind the scenes when you are with your regular bank. But with cryptocurrency, you're your own banker. So that means you are doing all the work, if that makes any sense. All right. All right. So let's get into the two types of cryptocurrency. All right. So I just wanted to bring you back from last week, right? This is your current currency, and it's called CFI, which is your commercial banking system. And they do all the work for you. So if you have fiat, credit cards, Cash App, PayPal, your regular bank is doing all of the banking for you, right? But when you are in the crypto space, you are considered DeFi. You are the banker, so you're doing all the work. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that. So when you see these coins and tokens, that's cryptocurrency. Always remember, oops, I'm my own banker in this, okay? So, all right, so let's start off with this. What is a coin? A coin is a cryptocurrency that is native to the blockchain it runs on. We'll explain a little bit more what that is. Blockchain. Blockchain is the software, remember, it's the software. So think of a coin or a token as a form of money, fiat, in the cryptocurrency space, because you are using those coins to pay for whatever goods and services you are getting. All right, so here are some of the coins, right? These are some of the coins. Most of us heard of the first two, which is Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, Cardano, and so on and so forth. Why are these coins? These are coins because remember, they have their own software, which is the blockchain, right? Remember we talked about last week where Bitcoin have its own software and it transfers money on that software, right? So Bitcoin is also a coin, right? So it's money that is transferred on the Bitcoin software. Ethereum is a coin. It's a coin that is transferred on the Ethereum software. BNB is a coin that is transferred on Binance. It's Binance software. So when I say transfer, I'll give you an example, right? So most of us are familiar with like Zelle and Cash App, right? So when you want to send your friend, your relative money, they have to have Cash App, right? Or Zelle. So you say, hey, Keisha, I'm going to send you $50. And then Keisha say, okay, how you sending it? You say, I'm going to send it through Cash App. And then she says, okay, I have Cash App too. So you wind up sending that money to Keisha on Cash App. Now, let's bring that into the cryptocurrencies terms. All right, say that you were sending Keisha the same Cash App, right? But you were sending it cryptocurrency way, right? And then you say, hey, Keisha, I want to send you 50 Cash App coin. And so that Cash App have to have a coin named Cash App. And you're going to send her 50 Cash App coins. So she say, okay, yeah, I have Cash App too. Send me the 50 Cash App coin. So if that makes any sense, right? So I'll get into it a little bit more and you'll see the difference. So these are coins. Coins are different from tokens. So these are coins, right? Coins have their own network and they vary in price. They vary, they go up, they go down, they fluctuate. They go up, they go down, they go up, they go down. There is no stability to them. They are variable, right? They're volatile, what we call them, up, down, okay? All right, so now we're gonna understand what a coin is because we're gonna talk about a token. What is a crypto token? A crypto token, unlike coins, tokens do not have their own blockchain / software and and what they do is you send your tokens on that network, on the borrowed network, right? So let's just go back to coin. Coin, let me give you another example. Let's just say, I'll get into it. I guess I can get into it on the next one, right? Okay, let's go back. I'll give you the example going forward. So the difference is coins have their own software. Tokens don't have their own software. Tokens have to travel on one of the coin's software, right? So if that's making any sense. All right. So tokens are often used to like they're like startup capital. They have to raise funds to make a token. Coins have a value because they have a software that is already making the money because most people use their software. Tokens can be created by anyone as long as they have capital behind them. They have to have money to back them. So most people who have tokens, right, they are raising capital to start a token. So let me just give you an example of that. Let's just say I wanted to make a Cillionaire token, right? And I can't make a coin because coins are the ones who have their own software. So I make a token. And in order for me to make that token, usually the minimum is $1 million to back that token. right? So what I do is I gather a couple of friends and I say, hey guys, you know, I am selling a certain amount of my tokens. Okay, let me just go a little bit further. So tokens, remember, got to be backed by money, right? And it got to be backed by a certain amount, which is 1 million, but you also have to have a certain amount. Let's say that I have 10,000 tokens. So in order for me to raise money, I would have to say, hey guys, I'm starting this token and I need you guys to buy some of my tokens at a reduced cost. And then they say, well, how much are you selling for? I say, hey, I'll give you 100 tokens for $25. And everybody that I talk to until I get to my capital of 1 million, then my token has become a token I can release into the public for people to use. Once that token is released into the public and it's usable, people can buy it and purchase things with it, if that makes any sense. Now, I have a warning here because a lot of tokens could be what we call a pump and dump, meaning that some people will make a token, start to raise capital with it, and then what they do is once they raise enough capital, they could take the equity out of it, meaning the money behind it, and let it fall, and then it becomes nothing, and then people lose their money. So on tokens, make sure you do your due diligence, right? All right, so there are different types of backends on tokens. There are equity tokens, and those are secured by like stocks or ownerships of who own them. Anyone who is familiar with the TPC coins, those are that is a familiar coin where they are raising capital and they are sharing the profits of the token. Utility token is more like a rewards one. And if anybody's been into like Hyperverse, Hypernation, those are usually those type of tokens where they're just rewards points. But the tokens we're going to be talking about today mostly are tokens that are used for payments, where they have equity behind them and they're used in order to pay for goods and services. Okay, so now that we are into tokens, these are some of the tokens that we have. We have Binance, USD, we have DAI, we have Wrapped, Bitcoin. There are several of them. They work on someone else's network, right? But the only two tokens these are from 3 down, and there are many more. This is just the top 10. 3 on down, they vary in value. They go up and down just like coins, right? Except for Tether, USD Tether, and the USD coin. Those are more stable coins, right? So what's the difference, right? Well, remember, I said it before, and remember from lesson 1, Bitcoin is a software, and Bitcoin sends its crypto, its money, on its own software. So I'm going to give you an example, and this is the example. This is the difference between coins and tokens, and I'm not sure if you knew about this, but I'm going to bring it up anyway. But Verizon, this is an example to show you the difference between coins and tokens. Verizon owns the network, the cell phone, the telephone network. They own the equipment, they own the tower, they own the data. They own all of that. And if you see from the picture, like they're all over because they own everything. How Sprint and T-Mobile and other phone companies are able to operate is because they lease the information. They lease the network, the tower, the data, and the equipment from Verizon. So when you look at coins, you think of coins as Verizon. They own the network. They own everything. They own all of the stuff in crypto on that network. So Bitcoin owns Bitcoin owns the Bitcoin network. Bitcoin, the coin, owns the Bitcoin network. So when people are using it, they charge a fee for them to use it. So think of tokens as other coin. I mean, think of tokens like coins that pay to use the coin network. That makes any sense? No, let's not try that. All right. So think of coins as tokens who need to pay to use the Verizon network. So think of Sprint and T-Mobile as a token that have to pay Verizon to use their network, their towers, and their data. Okay, so coins like Tether and Binance and all of them have to pay Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, and all of them to send funds on their network. Okay, so I hope that's making some sense. I hope I didn't confuse you guys. All right, so here we have it. The difference between coins and tokens, they both can be used for payment services to send funds from place to place, right? So let's just say you wanted to buy Balenciaga, which is accepting crypto. You wanted to buy a pair of shoes from there, and you say, oh, I have Bitcoin, but I also have DAI, right? DAI is a token, right? So you say, I have both of those. Well, as long as Balenciaga is accepting either one, you can pay for those items with either one, okay? So we're going to talk about the differences so that both can be used for that, right? If this token is a payment utility token and not an equity one that is used for raising capital, or utility one, which is like a rewards points, right? So here we got it, go. So coins, a coin is a digital currency similar to a physical currency, which is money in fiat. Token is a digital asset used also on a particular project. I mean, if someone's accepting it, yeah, you can use this token as a payment. Coins operate on its own blockchain. That blockchain is the software. It operates on its own. So it doesn't have to pay anyone to use their stuff. You have to pay, but particularly that coin doesn't, right? So token doesn't operate on its own. It has to borrow someone's network. And when you borrow it, you have to pay, right? So coins are purely used for a source of payment. That's purely what it's used for. Tokens are used for payments and for digital contracts. So remember, I talked about that equity one and that utility one. So the equity token is like you are raising capital, and then basically you have a contract with that person that says, hey, I'm buying this amount of coins and you're going to give me a return for this amount of money. So that's kind of how a contract works. So then they gave examples, Bitcoin and Ethereum. And then over here for token, it has TCT and DAO, right? So those are different tokens. Usually the token that is widely used is basically the stable ones, which is the USDT, Tether, and the USDC, and anything in that category, okay? But we'll get more into that. All right, so you can think of it like this. Coins is like money, and tokens are like casino chips or rewards points, right? Unless it has some equity backing it where it's enough, it's like a payment coin, okay? A payment token. So coins and tokens are used interchangeably a lot in this space, but the more you know the difference, the better you'll be, because you'll know exactly what you're getting into and what you're not getting into. All right, so now we talked about tokens, right? So now we're going to talk about what's the difference between stable coins, which is a token, and tokens, right? Versus that. All right, so stable coins are regulated. They're regulated, they're non-volatile. They're used as an alternative to fiat, which is the dollar, and you can see it down here. It's pretty much equivalent to a dollar, stable coins. When they say it's stable, that means that it stays in a certain range. It's not volatile. Coins and tokens can be very volatile. They can have 80%, they can have 1% swings, they can have up to 80% swings, meaning they can shoot up 80% or they can drop 80%, and they can shoot up 1% and they can drop 1%, just like fluctuate. Stable coins, the variation is so minuscule that you don't even notice it. So it's usually equivalent to $1 US or whatever your local fiat is, right? So if you look at these coins right here, where we have the dollar bill there, stable coins are usually equivalent to the US dollar or your local fiat, right? So usually it's the USD coin, the Gemini dollar, Paxo, True, USD, and they have Tether and they have DAI. All of those are stable coins, and meaning stable, meaning they don't fluctuate too much away from $1. It's either going to be 98 cents or $1.02. The highest it'll go is $1.02. The lowest it will drop is 98 cents. Now, coins and tokens are non-regulated. So remember we talked about that CeFi, DeFi space? Well, coins and tokens are in a DeFi, but they're not regulated by the government. They're very volatile, meaning they go up and down, up and down, up and down. They're used on trading exchanges, and they are a means of payment as well. So, but it depends on how much they are at the time. So let's just take Bitcoin, for example, in the coins tokens area. Let's just say you were buying something for $20,000, and today Bitcoin is worth $20,000, right? And what happens is if you wait till tomorrow, it may drop down to $16,000. That means that you won't have enough tomorrow. Or let's say the following day, it jumps up to $30,000. Well, you'll have more than enough to pay for that $20,000 item, okay? All right, so again, these are some of the stable coins. These are the top ones. And this is the Canadian one, which is CAD-C. We have USDC, USDT Tether, and we have DAI. And then on the Binance chain, so that is Ethereum, because remember, they are running on a network. They have to run on a network, right? So these are the ones. They're running on Binance network. And this one is running on Polygon, okay? I'm not sure if you heard of some like problems in paradise where USDT was halted on a couple exchanges. Well, if you take a screenshot of this, you'll know your options, that you don't have to only have USDT as a stable coin, but there are other variables out there, okay? All right. All right, so that is pretty much all that is about coins and tokens. So now we're going to talk about NFTs, because NFTs are a form of token, but a different type of token, right? So what is an NFT? An NFT is a digital asset that represents real world objects like art, music, in-game items, videos. They are bought and sold online, frequently with cryptocurrency, and they are generally encoded with the same underlying software as cryptos. So we're going to get a little bit into that, and I have pictures up here because we're going to talk about some of these things, because some of the things that are being becoming NFTs is like for people who are sneaker collectors. Those are going to be NFTs soon. And we all heard about the artwork and all those other great things, right? So let's get into what NFTs are, right? So remember from session 1, we talked about Bitcoin was used to send money, Ethereum came and improved on the network, and now Ethereum is used to send money and record documents. Well, this is where NFTs come into play. All right, so Ethereum is the reason why we have NFTs, right? Because Ethereum is programmable. So you can also use it for a lot of different digital assets, even like Bitcoin, right? So this is the difference between, this is important to talk about because this tells you why we have NFTs. So this is the difference between the software. So Bitcoin was originally made, and if you can Bitcoin can be broken up in pieces, like into fractional sizes, right? Kind of like a dollar bill, right? So you have a dollar bill, you can break it up into 4 quarters, or you can break it even down into 10 dimes, or you can break it down into 20 nickels, or you can break it down into 100 pennies, right? But one thing you are not able to do on Bitcoin software is record documents, right? So remember I said last week, you know, Ethereum had to one-up them, right? And improve on it. Well, same thing with Ethereum. Ethereum can be fractionalized, right? It can be broken up into, you know, smaller pieces, just like a dollar bill, right? But on Ethereum, you can record documents, which is called non-fungible token, which is an NFT. So Ethereum, you can send money, but you can also send documents, and the documents are called NFTs. All right, so examples of NFTs and what we call fungible and non-fungible, right? So fungible is the dollar, meaning you can break them up. Bitcoin is fungible. And Ethereum is fungible because they can be broken up into little pieces, right? But what is not fungible and non-fungible is artwork and property, right? So once that contract or that document is created, it's not able to be broken up into little bit piece sizes, all right? So it's just a contract, it's a document, it's solid, it stays that way. It stays solid like a rock. You just won't be able to break it up in pieces, right? So for you to understand it a little bit more, I'm going to talk about a little bit of the history of NFTs. So in order to talk about NFTs, we have to talk about digital artwork, right? So digital artwork started in around like 1980s, right? And I give you guys a little bit of pictures here. And if you want to take a screenshot and look at that stuff later on so you can understand it, basically you can do that, right? So it started becoming more mainstream around 2014, right? So if you are familiar with Sotheby's, right? Sotheby's is an art world where they pretty much sell like the finest artwork in the world, and artists who are known by them is considered some of the greatest of all time. Well, Sotheby's didn't want anything to do with digital artwork. They didn't want to recognize the artists, and they didn't want to give them any recognition. So digital artists were making games like back then, which was like Mario Brothers and Sonic and some other games, right? So that's what they got into. They started making artwork like that. Sotheby's wanted nothing to do with them, so they found other outlets. right? So just so you can get an idea how bad it was, because many digital artists wanted to get into the Sotheby's space, but they didn't want anything to do with them. So there was an article back in 2014 where this Dan was a Lavisi, I guess. If I'm pronouncing that wrong, my apologies. But he said digital art is not real art, and you're a fool for thinking so. I mean, the digital artists were getting like just banged on back then, right? So then we have a alumni from the Sotheby's Institute that explained that an art gallery is not a space for retail. It is an arena for culture, an exhibition combined to pixels and trapped as digital recreation on a website does injustice to the work of art. So basically they were getting slammed by everyone, including Sotheby, which is where they wanted to be a part of because they are the hierarchy of art, right? So why not, recognize the digital artists? Well, so digital artists, when Ethereum came around, digital artists found their home. They started to put things on Ethereum because they were able to do that and show off their artwork. So it was a way for them to show off their artwork. And then it got the attention of, the mainstream media. So you probably heard about these two platforms, the Bored Ape Yacht Club, the Bored Ape Yacht Club, tongue tied there. And basically they started to put their artwork on the platform that is non-fungible token. So they started to sell them. And initially the Bored Ape Yacht Club, one of them initially sold for $190. Their highest sold to date is $3.4 million. So then they had the CryptoPunks, and one of the CryptoPunks sold for $23.7 million. And so it started getting the attention, and then they started throwing around this term NFTs, and people couldn't figure out what the heck that was. Basically, it was a document, which was art, recorded on the Ethereum network. And once they recorded it on there, what happened was they were able to sell it. And in this form, you're not able to hack it, change it, or do anything to it. As opposed to the Mona Lisa, which we've heard has been replicated in so many different ways, and fake ones were sold. Well, with NFTs, you're not able to do that because once it's coded, it's the only original one in the world. And moving forward, I heard for sneaker collectors, Nike is going to be doing that to avoid people selling fake sneakers. They are going to be recording theirs as NFTs as well because of that. Because of, a lot of fraudulent things happening in the world where people are creating false documents with like mortgages and insurance. And now people saw that NFTs was a place to create safe documents and contracts, that they started talking about NFTs a lot more. But it originally started with digital artists taking advantage of the space and creating it. And people think that it'll have to do only with artwork, but it does not. And so guess what happened? 2022, Sotheby's wound up getting into the space of digital artwork, which they sell currently NFTs, and they sold $17 million worth of digital artwork recently. And this is the article. See how things change? So this is when I tell you that this is a valuable education, which is worth probably the minimum of 2,500. And also going forward, this information I tell you you will probably have to pay for it. And moving forward, I wanted you to get the knowledge that this space is so profitable, and I'm just not wanting you to miss out. That's why I'm here talking for free. Okay, so I just wanted to give you guys that. All right, so all that came out of this was just an evolution of documents, right? So first we had digital art. Now we have gaming, that's NFTs. Now we have possibly sneakers that are going to be NFTs, and they're going to be moving forward. Contracts are made with NFTs. Shares of crypto is made of NFTs. Shares of companies, stocks are made of NFTs. Mortgage deeds are made of NFTs. Books, tickets, IDs. From what I understand, that the government is going to be making your ID out of NFTs. Why? Because people cannot make fake IDs once that's done, right? So just giving you that information. So as I said before, cases of NFTs moving forward, we already started doing real estate. There will be concert tickets made into NFTs because these things are not, you're not able to replicate them or, make new tickets. Or sports is going to be gaming, art, IDs, social security cards. Those are all moving forward, is the plan to make them into NFTs, so they, people identity won't be stolen, or their property will not be stolen, or you cannot replicate artwork again. Just think of all the like Birkin bags and the Balenciaga things that are going to have NFTs, because in those bags right now, right, in those Gucci and Louis and Birkin bags, you get this little ID that comes with it. But however, people have already replicated those. So now moving forward, if it comes with the NFT, you have the latest digital asset card that comes along with that product, right? All right, so why all of this? Coins, tokens, stable coins, NFTs, safety, less hackable, more transparency. Remember, we talked about that. Things could be recorded. You have an idea, you're your own banker. You have a choice to go with a bank that does all the work for you, or you do the work for yourself, and you have more transparency, right? All right, so let's just do a quick summary. Coins, tokens, and NFTs are all digital assets, right? Coins are digital assets that run on its own network, and it is volatile, right? Tokens do not have their own network. Usually they borrow a network from someone else, like in the example of Verizon, Sprint, and T-Mobile, Boost, whichever ones, whatever, Metro, they all borrow Verizon network. So tokens borrow Ethereum and Bitcoin, borrow all the networks. Stablecoin is a token that is backed by the US or local fiat currency and is non-volatile, right? And then NFTs, they started out as art, but now they evolved into document recording platforms, right? So, all right. So that is pretty much a summary. If you want to take a screenshot of that, we're going to get right into a cute little game like we did last time. So we can test your knowledge. And this is not a quiz. This is not to grade you. This is just to test your knowledge, so you can get as much as possible out of this lesson, okay? All right, so let's play a game. Let's play a game. Okay, so in order for me to play this game, okay, got it. I have to go to another screen. Okay, so I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. All right, and let's get into it. Oops, where is my apps? Okay. It's not gonna take me long like last time, all right? Because I'm pretty set up for this one. Hopefully, right? Okay. Don't tell me that I'm not on here. Okay. This is not working like I thought it was. Okay, so it says add. I've already added this. Don't tell me this thing is gonna screw up at the last moment and I just bragged about myself. Gotta be kidding, right? I just bragged that I'm so prepared and I'm not. Oh my God. This is crazy. Okay. All right, so open. Okay. All right. I was so prepared, I became unprepared. Give me a. Okay. All right, guys. I'm there. I'm almost there. Good share. Okay. All right. All right, come on. Okay. I actually had another game set up for you guys, but it didn't work out well. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. Thanks for your patience.
Be patient. So I have my dinner in 10 minutes.
All right, here we go, guys. All right, so, oh, wait. Oh, no, don't tell me it's screwed up. No. Okay. All right, let's share the screen. Oops. Do I have to go through this every time? All right, let's see. Is it not coming on? Okay, great. No, that's not it. All right. I have to go through this every time. Okay, here we go. I'm sorry, guys. I'm new to this. All right, so it says first question. So I just want you guys to put your T or F in the chat. I guess we missed the first one because it didn't come up. Thank you, Charlie. So it says, let me just go over it. It says coins and tokens is a form of money / fiat in the crypto space. And the answer was true. Okay. So I am going to, I am going to press the next one so we can get an opportunity, but there are 10, so we have 9 left, okay? All right, next. All right, tokens have their own software / blockchain. True or false? See what they're saying in the chat. All right, I see some F's in the chat, right? Yes, so the answer is false. Thank you guys for that. That was great. All right, next one. All right, NFTs is a form of payment. for example, I can buy Bitcoin with NFT. Is that true or false? All right, let's check out the chat. What do we have going on? All right, so we got some F's in the chat. Yay! You guys are amazing. Okay, so the correct answer is false. You cannot buy an NFT. You cannot buy Bitcoin, an NFT with Bitcoin, okay? So remember, NFTs are digital documents. All right, next. Coins have their own software. What is that gonna look like in the chat? Is it gonna be T or F? T or F? Let's see what it looks like. Ah, I see a bunch of T's in there. Awesome. And that is true because coins have their own software. Bitcoin have its own software. Ethereum have its own software, right? So that is true. All right, next one. NFT stands for non-fungible token. All right, so what is it gonna be? Is it gonna be T or F? T or F? All right, let's see what the chat says. All right, so if you picked true, sorry. If you picked true, you are correct. It is non-fungible token. Remember, non-fungible token means that it's a digital document, right? It doesn't break up. So that's what it means that it's non-fungible, meaning you can't break it up. All right. Next question. Tokens do not have their own software. All right, so what is it gonna be, guys? It's gonna be that T or the F? T or F? T or F? T or F? All right, let's see what the chat says. All right, hey, right. So that is that is true. Is it? Yeah, they do not have their own software. Guys, I screwed up on that one. It should have been true. They do not own their own software. I do apologize if you got confused on that one. I screwed up on that one. It should have been true. They do not own their own software. So for those who put in the chat, T, you are correct. All right, next one. All right, coins and tokens are not volatile. Coins and tokens are not volatile. Is it gonna be T or F? T or F? T or F? All right, let's see what the chat says. All right. I see some, and that is correct. False, because they are volatile. Remember, they have those swings. They can go from 1%, they can go to 80%. They have those swings. Most coins and tokens are volatile, right? Okay, great job, guys. The answer was false. All right, this is number 8. NFTs are documents that are recorded on the blockchain software. NFTs are documents that are recorded on the blockchain software. T or F? T or F? T or F? T or F? That is true. Okay, so all of you guys who picked the T is correct. That is true, right? So it is recorded on the blockchain software, mainly on Ethereum, right? So that is correct. All right, guys, we have 2 more to go. And then we'll get into Q&A. All right. Stable coins are tokens. Stable coins are tokens. Is that T or F? T or F? T or F? T or F? Let's check the chat. Let's check the chat. Let's see. All right, let's see what we have. Oh, we have a mixture there, guys. Stable coins are tokens. Even though it have the word coins in there, they are tokens, but they're stable. Remember, they are equivalent to the US dollar or your local currency, right? So we did have a mixture there that was a little tricky, but it is true. They are tokens, okay? All right, let's go on to the last and final one. Stable coins are not volatile. Stable coins are not volatile. Stable coins, when I say volatile, means they don't have these 80% swings, right? They don't go up and down, rocks. They don't go up and down that much, right? All right. So if you said that that's true, yes, because stable coins stay in the area of 98 cents to $1.02. So when I say they're very volatile, or they're volatile, meaning that they have swings of like 80%, they can go up or down, up or down, up or down. Okay. So that was great, guys. Thank you for that. We had lots and lots of fun on that one. You guys participated, and that is amazing, right? It's amazing. All right, so let's get back to the presentation so I can end it out and we can get into Q&A. Oops, sorry. All right, so I just want to give you real quick, and then we'll get into Q&A. What's happening around the world in crypto? Just wanted to show you guys California just recently put into their law, they're writing into their law that you have to have a bit law license, which is a license to do crypto business in California, right? And then the New York Fed has launched their own digital dollar pilot program with their big banks, which includes like BNY, Citibank, HSBC, MasterCard, PNC, TD Bank, Trust, US Bank and Wells Fargo. All of them, they are starting their own cryptocurrency coin, okay? So that you know, you are aware what's going on, right? All right, and then the housing market all over. People are buying homes with crypto. There was one sale that was in Florida, right? There was Florida one, there was one in Colombia. There is one that was brought in, I think it was Washington. Green Bay Packer fans brought a house near the Green Bay Packers with crypto, okay? So just wanted to let you know what's going on around the world, because what usually happens in situations like this, it starts with little things and then it starts closing in and closing in. So I just wanted to give you guys rest of that. All right, so this is my information is also in the chat. If you want to take a screenshot of that, it is in the chat. And I also put in the chat other things like other links that you can get information on. Okay. All right. And remember, guys, our meeting is every Tuesday at 7 p.m. We're always on the same link, right? So just keep that in mind, and also keep it near and dear to your heart, because remember, this information, I could tell you, I've known people who are in the business charging $2,500 per person to do classes like this. And I am doing it for free because I want us to be that 1% that knows exactly what's going on and we're not caught by surprise. And I urge you guys to continue being educated going on different platforms, coming to this one every Tuesday at 7 o'clock and going the other ones and finding out what's going on. I hope I'm making your life easier when you are reaching those other platforms and you are hearing these terminologies and you're getting all the information that you require to understand what they are talking about. But trust me, by the end of this course, you will see that you will be very, very well versed on what's going on. So before I say thank you and see you next week, I am going to take some questions, right? I'm going to stop sharing my screen and we're going to talk about it, guys. We're going to talk about what's going on. And I'm going to answer some questions. And if Michelle, if there's any questions in the chat that I can take, but I'll take Connie Denny, right? All right. So
Yes.
you can unmute.
The screen that you showed just before where you gave your information, can you put that back up so I can get a screenshot of it? It was too fast.
Absolutely. I do apologize if I went too fast.
Well, for
I
me,
will.
you did.
Huh?
For me, you did.
Probably for other people too. Sometimes, you know, I'm so excited about the information, Connie. I'm so sorry that I usually get so excited and then, you know, I start talking fast. All right, so let me put it up again. I start talking fast and, you know, and then things get lost in the shuffle, you know. My apologies.
Well,
That's why I ask people, hey, tell me to slow down, right? You know, okay, let me put it back up. Is it this one? This one?
No, the next. You
This
had
one?
it there. Go the other way.
Oh, the other way.
Forward.
Which information was it?
It was the one with that little square box up there, whatever that's called. That one.
This one? Okay. Okay, anyone else? Help me help you. If you didn't quite understand, no question is dumb, is stupid, or it's, you know, invalid. I want you to make sure you are leaving this platform understanding exactly what these terms mean. All right.
Thank you, Jill. This is Maria. And
okay.
You had said that you cannot buy NFTs with Bitcoin. I didn't understand that.
Okay. So NFT is a digital document, right? So it's just the document. It's kind of like you trying to buy $1 with a piece of paper. If that makes any sense. Like I can't purchase $1 with a piece of paper. I can exchange it, but I can't buy it. And maybe that wasn't a really great example. But you can buy an NFT with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin have value like money. An NFT is a document, right? So you can buy an NFT with Bitcoin, but it's not vice versa because it's a document. Only now that document would have to, you can trade it for something, but you wouldn't be able to buy it because NFTs have value like a piece of art. They have value like a house, that kind of asset, but it's not like currency asset, if that makes any sense. Yes, no?
So if you had Bitcoin, you could buy NFTs with it?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
okay. So I
Yeah,
think I
the Bitcoin, the coins and the tokens are money. It's basically money. NFT is it came about so that people could secure their documents. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So
and
yeah.
Yeah. And the different coins are pegged to the US dollar. And is that all over the world?
Cryptocurrency is worldwide. So, and that was another reason why they wanted to make this change, because if you went to, let's just say you went to the Philippines, US dollar is more the Philippines, so you would have to do a great exchange, right? But if you have Bitcoin in US and then you're sending it to someone in the Philippines, the value is still the same no matter where you send it. So yes, cryptocurrency is worldwide. The value of Bitcoin stays the same no matter what country you're in. If you had Ethereum, that value stays the same no matter where you are. If you had a token, let's just say you had a token and your token was valued at $50, it's still going to be $50 in another country.
All right, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I had a question. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, my name is Ante. What I wanted to know is, how do you decide which coin is the best coin to own if coins can just be made at any moment by anybody? Like in the beginning, you said you can make your own coin, and as long as you get however much investments from people, like you can be good to go. Meaning that like Bitcoin can be worth something one day, but it's always going to be more competition. So in the future, you don't know how the value is gonna hold. And also, isn't it like if you're in an area where people don't accept the Bitcoin and different types of cryptocurrency, how is it worth something if you have it but you can't exchange anything for it because nobody's accepting it? Because I live in Miami and I know like maybe a year ago, a lot of people were accepting Bitcoin and stuff, but they stopped accepting it because like, I guess the value went down, and now like nobody's really accepting it like at stores and stuff. So what do you do when you're in areas where people aren't accepting like the different cryptocurrencies and stuff?
Okay. So to answer your first question, coins and tokens are a little different.
Oh yeah. I remember.
Yeah, we use those words interchangeably, but coins are they have value backing them. They have liquidity backing them because they own the software and people use their software, right? So tokens is the one that you are asking about. Token made by anyone. That's when it becomes your responsibility to do your own due diligence and make sure that, number one, it have equity behind it, meaning the minimum usually is $1 million, right? So let's just say you find out that this person put $2 million behind it. It's kind of like you deciding if you wanted to like, let's say that they do it with houses and cars all the time, right? So when you go buy a car, basically they base your interest on how much you're willing to put down. If you're willing to put down, let me just ask you this question. If someone puts down, if you were selling your car and you had two buyers and someone was willing to put down $500 and the other person was willing to put down $5,000, who do you think had more of an interest?
Who's interested more in buying it?
In buying it.
Well, the person that put 5,000 down.
Okay. So let's take that example for a minute. So if you found a coin that someone put down the basic $1 million down, and then you found, a token, and then that token, then you find another token where someone is backing it with like $5 million. I think they would be pretty much a person you would look at and say, okay, they're very serious about this because they put a lot of equity behind it. So equity is one way to look at a token to see if it's very interesting. Then they have what they call the white paper. The white paper basically is like a plan. It's like them explaining to you what they're doing, how they're doing it. And, and I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but how they're going to do it, what their plan is. So that's the white paper. And when they write up that white paper, that is recorded as an NFT. So that becomes a legal contract, right? So that's what we call a smart contract. And once they do that, and then what people have been doing on their own is looking up the owners, where are they from? Are they visible? Do they have any track record in the field? All those things basically solidifies if that coin is a great coin. I mean, that token is a great token. So that's that part. I hope that made sense to you.
Let me see if this makes sense. So if somebody, when you say they put $5 million behind the token, right? That means that in an account somewhere there's $5 million and there's so many coins that are backed by this $5 million.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
they have a certain amount. It's a market cap. They only can make a certain amount of coins.
Okay. Now, if I own 10 coins, this 10 coins is how does that worth? How do you calculate the worth of those 10 coins?
By the market cap. You calculate the what you have back in it, the liquidity, and how many coins that you are planning to disperse. I mean, tokens you are planning to disperse under that contract. And that's where the white paper come in, because you're going to explain that all in there that says, okay, we're going to have, usually they start off like in the billions. We're going to have so-and-so billions. And then you have to start it off at, I think it's 6 zeros after the decimal point. It's kind of like that. It's like you have to divide how many coins you have and how much liquidity you have and into the coins. So it's kind of like a multiplication division type of thing. So let's just say if you had if you backed your coin, say you had a coin named A, and your coin was backed by let's say $500, but you're only making 5 coins. That means each coin is worth $100.
Okay.
Until people buy, I keep saying coins, I'm sorry, tokens.
Tokens, yeah.
Yeah, until people buy the tokens to raise the value of it, then, and people start to be interested in it, and then the scarcity, that's when it starts to become more valuable, because then the people start holding on to it. And then the need for the token and the use of the token becomes a part of it as well.
So what makes one token better than the other token? Is it because maybe this token is accepted at different stores? Is it because this token has a better name? Is it because this token looks better? Like what makes one token all better than the other token?
Okay, so when you get a token, the person creates the token. Things that makes the token valuable is the limited number of them, the market cap, meaning how many that are available, the scarcity of it, and how many people are willing to partner in it to make it a valuable coin. So let's just say your coin, like you had a coin like that, and then you say, okay, I need to partner with crypto.com and put it on their exchange or on their platform. I need to partner with Coinbase so they can have it available on theirs. And then you start to get businesses, hey, can you take my token, accept my token for your products? And then, it starts to become a lot more valuable. But coins are valuable without that. Tokens have to build a platform to get that value. Okay.
It makes a little bit more sense. Yeah.
Makes a little bit more sense. Okay.
Yeah. It's still, I'm still a little confused, but I understand a little bit more from today.
Yeah. Coins are actual money, and then you got to think of tokens more like casino chips or rewards points, because they have value. They have value when value is placed on it. So that's the difference. So coins are always going to have value. I'll tell you why. Is because they have their own network and everybody have to use it. It's kind of like, let's say you had your own train right? You can use your train all day long, but people who need to get to work have to pay a fee to get on your train, right? So I'm gonna go to work. So basically that's how it is. So think of those people who go to work as tokens and think of yourself as owning the train as a coin, if that makes any sense. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Then you had another question. Your other question was,
So my
Well,
other question had to do with, okay, so now the cryptocurrencies, you have the cryptocurrencies, and like maybe a year, I live in Miami, and maybe a year and a half ago,
Right.
a lot of businesses were starting to accept like Bitcoin and Ethereum and all these cryptocurrencies, but now they're not accepting them because I guess the values fluctuate so much. So maybe a business, they might have sold something for an amount of money, and then the next day the money went down, so it wasn't worth as much for them anymore. So I was just saying, like, if you have this cryptocurrency but you can't use it anywhere, what do you like? Kind of, what do you what's it worth to you? You know, because if you can't use it, it's just
right.
I don't know.
So all tokens, not all coins and most of tokens can be converted over to fiat or your regular local currency, your dollar or your whatever country you're from. It can always be converted over. So what people mainly, because Bitcoin have the data and the software, they're always going to make money because people have to use their platform to send currency and can send currency back and forth, right? So they are the originator of the data and everything. So they're always going to make money. Now, depending on what value they are at the time, yes, it fluctuates. I mean, it wouldn't be very good business to take Bitcoin and stuff like that if you don't know what the value could be, because, it can drop, right? However, most people are using it just like a stock. Like you buy it, you hold on to it, you make money, you may lose money, but if you're making money, then you convert it over to a stable coin or your local currency. So most people, what they do when they have Bitcoin, they sit it there, and if they make money off of it, they convert it over to a stable coin, which is USDT or USDC or DAI or any of those. And then they say, hey, I made money, so now I just keep it in my wallet. So most people are using Bitcoin as like a stock, like, oh, let me buy it, it's low, I'm gonna wait till it go up and make some money off of it. Okay, so I hope I answered your questions.
Yes, you definitely did. Thank you.
Awesome. Anyone else? I knew this was going to be a tough thing to, understand, but the more you listen to different platforms and when you hear them talking, you'll start to plug in what we learned today and like, oh, okay, that's what that means. Okay, now I get it. But anyone else? Anyone else? No?
Yes, you have a question in the chat. Someone wants to know, what is the blockchain?
Blockchain is, and we'll get more into that in sessions to come, because this, guys, when I'm giving you the terms and stuff right now, trust me, at the end, I'm going to even do an example to tie it all together, but it'll start to make more sense as we go along. But anyway, blockchain is the software that each coin have that you send money back and forth. And I'll explain to you how blockchain works. I'm just not wanting to do it now because it's just going to confuse you. But blockchain, if you were here in the first session, remember, Bitcoin have its own software. That software is blockchain, and blockchain have different elements to it. Okay. Anything else in the chat, Michelle? Okay, guys, I took a screenshot of the chat, I mean, of the participation, so everyone can I'll make sure that everyone gets an adequate copy of a certificate once we are done for being here today. And I'd like to thank all of you guys. Any other questions in the chat?
I don't see any other questions.
All right, anybody else with a question? I'm gonna stop recording.